Hello people, moving on. This week we're going to have a new summer set. I don't have a name for this one yet. I'm working on that. But yeah, so here we go. I'm starting off with some prepped medium length oval tips. And we'll be using Makartt polish today. And then we're going to go in with this bright neon yellow. This color will really wake you up, let me tell you. I'm doing 2 sets this week because, as you know from my last video, I'm going out to visit my folks soon, and I don't want to leave you guys with nothing while I'm gone. So I busted out 2 sets this week. Surprisingly, they both went fairly smooth, and I got them both done. Okay, first coat's on and been cured, and now we're going in with the second coat. This is one of those sets that I'm trying something that I hadn't tried before. So luckily it works beautifully. So now I got some plans for some other stuff here in the future, because it gave me some ideas. Okay, we got that on. We're going to cure that, and bam, there we go. Okay, we're going to be doing stamping, and we're going to be stamping with pigments today. Now first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a matte top on the nails I'm going to stamp onto, which is going to be the ring finger and the index finger. So that's what we're doing, and then we'll cure that. Now I had tried to do this same kind of deal with chrome powder a while back, and it was a disaster. It just didn't work out. So I was hoping this was going to work, and it did. We're going to use the stamping plate, and in a sec I'm going to turn it around. There you go. There's the plate name and number. And we're going to use this one with the circle and the swirly lines. Okay, I did one practice one to make sure it was going to work, and it did. So we're using regular stamping polish. This is not gel polish. This is regular old stamping polish in white. Okay, we're going to use our stamper. I'm using this rectangular one. We got orange pigment, a dark orange pigment, and a dark pink pigment. Then we're going to get an eyeshadow applicator is what I used. And we're just going to take the pigment. I'm going to start with the orange, and we're just going to apply that to the stamper head. Now, when I tried this with the chrome powders, it was just a big mess. The chrome powder was just sticking all to my nail, not just where the design was. I couldn't get it off. Even when I did a matte on my nail, matte top first. So I was trying to blend those a little bit in the middle. Okay, that's all prepped and ready. Set that aside, and then you're going to get your stamping polish, and you're just going to put this on here as per usual. Now I went a little heavier with this one because I wanted to make sure it was going to pick up good. And we're going to scrape it off. I usually give it a couple of scrapes. Make sure it's filled in good. And then we're just going to pick that up with the stamper. There we go. And there it is. Now I'm not cleaning anything off the edges because I know it's going to fit on this whole nail. I'm not going to have extra stuff to worry about. Now the sucky part was, with all the pigment on there, I can't see through the stamper to line it up where I wanted it. But that one happened to come out pretty much in the middle, so that worked out nicely. But there we go. Easy peasy. It's so nice when stuff works out as it's supposed to for a change. Okay, and then we will get ready I'll show you one more. I'm going to clean this off with a lint roller. Now I'm mainly concerned with getting the polish off of there, not so much the pigment. Even though I've got pigment all over my lint roller now, it doesn't want to get the polish off very much, but we'll get there. Okay, good enough. And then we're going to load her up again. Oh, no, we're not. First, we're going to clean this off. I'm just going to pull off a layer of the lint roller because I had pigment all over it. That took me a while to find the edge of it. Alright, I think we're ready to go. Okay, now I've got acetone and a cotton pad, and I'm just going to use that for cleaning off my stamping plate. Normally I would just use Q-tips, but this was a lot faster. Since I don't have to worry about getting acetone on my nails and ruining them, this was a much faster way to go, and it's cleaner. FYI, that's how I clean my plates up at the end if I've left them in kind of a mess and you see me going out and I'm saying I'm done and they're messy looking. This is how I clean them all off nicely at the end. Okay. I think, was I going to do one more or are we done? I guess we're going to do one more. Okay, we're going to load that stamper up again. Now, if you're going to change colors of pigments in between each of these, you're going to need to clean your stamper off better than what I did. Like, you use alcohol on a lint-free wipe for that, which is what I ended up doing at the end of this whole thing when I was done and I was cleaning stuff up. But since I'm using the same two colors, I don't really care about getting it totally clean every time. And you don't need a whole heck of a lot of pigment on there either. It really goes a long way. Probably those two little pots of those pigment colors will last me the rest of my life. I probably will not get through all those. Oh, and also as a side note, make sure you don't have a fan blowing on your area. Like I sit with a fan blowing right on me. Like when I'm working with pigment powders or chrome powders, make sure you face it away from you. And for God's sakes, don't sneeze, because you will have this stuff everywhere. Okay, we've got it picked up, and we're just going to pop it right on there. There we go. Nice and neat. Now, see how that one, there was a little white of the polish was showing? I just dabbed it on where the orange pigment was, and that covered that over quite nicely. See, my design on that one should have been lowered down just a skosh because it was not quite to the end of the free edge. But you can't see through the pigment on the clear stamper, so it does no good. But anyway, then I take very lightly, let it sit and dry for a few minutes, and then just brush off very, very lightly any loose pigment. And then we're ready to move on to these little rings. Now I got these off AliExpress recently, and this particular set was just a good excuse for me to use them. So here we go. We're going to use the darkest orange and the darkest pink. And then we're going to put these on in the same order that we just did the stamping. Like the orange will be near the top, the pink will be near the bottom. And there will be a little mingling in the middle. Before we do that, we're going to put base coat on those rest of those nails. In this case, I'm using Beetles. We are just going to slap that on there. Now these little rings are made out of that same kind of papery stuff that recently I had those little flower petals. It's that same kind of papery stuff. I don't really know what it is, but I'm liking it because it's super thin and everything lays down very nicely. On the other hand, your top coat and base coats don't want to stick to it very well, so when you're trying to smooth them on there at the end, I'm having issues with them beading up. Okay, now I used to use my rhinestone tool picker-upper to get these out, but we're just going to randomly put them on here. Those skinny orange rings, the bigger ones, kind of look like onion rings to me. I don't know why. I don't even like onion rings, but oh well. Okay, we're just going to scatter them around there randomly. Like I said, orange at the top, pink at the bottom. Maybe a few overlapping a little in the middle. I saw a set of these done with black nails with these neon rings on there. They look pretty neat. So I may have to do a set of those at some point. Initially I was trying to get these all flat so nothing was overlapping, and then I decided they looked better with a couple of them overlapping here and there. Also, in hindsight, as I was looking at this set, looking at the stamped design, the circle in the middle has got the stripes like going across it. I was thinking I probably could have done a few of these random circles on these nails that had stripes across the middle of them to tie in with the stamped ones a little better. But I didn't do that, and I'm not going to go back and redo it now. So something to think about if you guys want to recreate this set. That's a dark one. I think there's more than one on there. Okay, we will just get done fussing with these guys, hopefully soon. Now, for the most part, when I did this thumb, they all were laying down perfectly flat, and everything was swell. When I moved on to the next one after this one here, there was a couple of them that were slightly sticking up. So you'll see when I get to that point, that one does not want to cooperate. When I get to the point, I'm going to pull out my LED flashlight, and we're going to just give them a quick flash cure and press them down. The ones that were sticking up will be laying nicely. This one got a dot on it too. I didn't realize there were the little dots inside of there. They must all be in the very bottom because that was the only one I had, I think, that got any of them on there. I was trying to get a little bit of the top or the base coat on my picker upper so they would stick to that end without getting my, the business end of my tool full of base gel, but it didn't cooperate very well. Also, initially I was just going to put a few of these on here, but the more I kept going with them, the more and more started getting on here. So they soon became pretty well covered in them. I was trying to get this one to overlap just a little. I think that's the one that was sticking up. It was bent in a weird way, so it didn't want to lay flat. And now we don't want to get off of there. Okay, and here's where we have to resort to this now. And as we showed you not too long ago, I'm going to take this and hold that upright and press my nail down from the top instead of the other way around. This was a much easier way to do it, and it keeps the stamper head from falling off the flashlight as it doesn't fit in there all that great. Okay, I think we're good. That one's good. We're going to move on to the little pinky, or not. Maybe not. I guess I saw another spot I needed to redo a little bit. A little piece on the side. sticking up. These little rings would make kind of cute little bubble shapes for a, you know, maybe a fish or a mermaid set or something. Okay, we're going to do the pinky, and then that's all you're going to see of these. I'll do the rest off camera. And we're just, I think I probably have more on this little tiny pinky than we need, but come on, get off of there. Yeah, that one got to be a little on the crowded side. Alright, then we're just going to do the same thing with this one. Just going to hold it there for, I don't know, 5, 6, 10 seconds somewhere. It doesn't take very long. And bam, there we go. A little bit more. I had one sticking up on there. Okay. And there we are, ready to move on to the next step. We're going back with base coat now, which is going to go over the ones with the rings. This is going to help even them out and fill in some of the little grooves and whatnot. I think I'm about running out of base coat in this bottle. Now for the most part, these guys were laying down fairly flat, but you could still feel little bumpiness to them, not a lot. So after this, we're going to cure them, and then we're going to go in now with the top coat, our no wipe tempered top coat. I'm going to get that on there, and we're going to cure those as soon as I can get it to lay on there fairly smoothly. As you can see, it wasn't wanting to cooperate. And now I'm going to go ahead and see how flat they are. That's the beauty of that flashlight. Okay, now I'm just going to buff these. They didn't totally need a lot of buffing, but I just wanted to smooth them out a little. Clean the edges up. Some of them had a little bit of the rings hanging over the edge that I smoothed out, but we'll just give them a quick buff. And I'm just going to show you this one on the thumb. The rest I'll finish off camera. Okay, now that I'm happy with it, now we're going in with the final top coats. And now we're going to cover all of them. Now on those, I've had the pigments in the past want to smear on me. There's the hair. So I was trying to float it on here and not brush over it too much, but it kept beading up in the middle again. I don't know why I have issues with this sometimes and then sometimes not. But I decided I'm going to get it all on the ring ones, and then I'm going to go back and finish working on these stamped ones here. Eventually, I'm going to get this to smooth out on all of them, and then I'm going to hurry up and quickly get it in the lamp and cure it before they start to separate on me again. I did put kind of a lot of that on, and then I was holding it upside down in an effort to get it to all pull in the center. As you can see, it wants to keep coming apart. Eventually I will get it smoothed out. It'll get in the lamp and will be cured. Okay, there we go. There's the finished set, all of them done. If you like this set, please give me a like. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I upload every Saturday. There's the finished picture that I will be posting, if you haven't seen it already. Okay, thank you very much for watching, guys. I do appreciate it an awful lot. See you next time.